All right, I hope you have all of your main building blocks now in place. It might not look like a whole lot at this stage of the game, but eventually all of this is going to become this, what we have here inside Photoshop, over inside the browser. Now, just out of interest here, if you wanted to, what you could do is you could save up all of your work here, Controller Command S, and then head back over to your web browser. I hope you still have that guy open. And you could refresh Controller Command R if you want, or you could hit your refresh button way up towards the top. And there's no changes here. There's no changes inside the browser other than my name disappearing. Now, if you're not sure why, it's because we have the building blocks in place, but we have no instructions assigned to the building blocks just yet. We haven't told the header that it should be, for instance, 960 pixels in width by 130 pixels in height. We haven't told the navigation bar to have a black background and so on, all that good stuff. All that stuff's coming up. So we're going to get to all that stuff. Now, before we move forward though, what I want to do is I want to take just a quick moment and I want to wrap the entire layout, everything that we've built here, inside a parent div, if that makes sense. So in other words, imagine taking all this code and putting it inside a box. Okay, that's exactly what I want to do. This is something that I always do with all of my layouts. It makes the controlling of the overall layout a heck of a lot easier. So if you're not really sure what I'm talking about, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring my cursor just above header. Okay, maybe I'll give myself a little bit of additional white space just to show you what's going on here. And I'm going to open up a div. Okay, so again, another rectangular object, open angle bracket div. Now, very much like we saw earlier with the slideshow, I'm going to use an ID selector for this guy. So it's going to go open angle bracket div space ID equals, and then I always call this guy master. Okay, and he has to be contained inside quotes. Okay, so ID equals open quote master close quote close angle bracket. Now, once again, Coda is helping me out by sticking in the closing div tag, which is very helpful, but I said that I wanted to take all of the existing code and wrap it inside this master div. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this closing div tag and I'm going to cut them, Controller Command X, of course, and I'm going to move them all the way down to the bottom of the code just below footer. Okay, below footer, but before the closing body and the closing HTML tags. So perhaps somewhere in here. And essentially what that does is that takes everything that you and I inserted in the previous exercise and encloses it inside this thing called the master div. Okay, and this is going to make things like centering the layout a heck of a lot easier. All right, great. That's all we wanted to achieve inside this exercise. Make sure to save up your document, and then we can move forward and continue building out the building blocks for our HTML code.